Krasner Arena on the campus of the University of Mary Washington. We bring you some fantastic basketball between two perennial powerhouses going toe-to-toe here in Fredericksburg. Noah Adcock out alongside Adam Sutton. Mary Washington, a big prove-it game today, coming off a 2-point loss to number 24 CNU in the opener of coast-to-coast conference play. It's another ranked opponent in tonight, the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays, just jumping back into the top 25 in number 24, that last slot in this morning's poll. In at 12-4, a 10-game win streak. The Blue Jays have been red hot from behind the arc and in the rebounding. And Ryan Kane, in his first year at the helm, has another team looking to go deep into the program. Mary Washington 9-6, all 6 losses to teams either in the top 25 or receiving votes. Neither of these teams has lost to a program that's not in that poll, and it's just something that's going to be very defensive and very special.
Very defensive indeed. They say if defense wins championships, we might be looking at the national championship tonight. We have 2 of the top defensive teams in Division III basketball facing off tonight. Maybe the first team to 50 wins tonight, partner, I tell you.
Mary Washington's offense has struggled at times. Last game out, Cameron McCravey, Daniel Peterson, 2 older players who don't necessarily act as more than complementary offensive pieces, led the way on offense. Zach Blue, Dorian Davis, the 2 leading scorers, combined for 1 point on 0 of 8 shooting. That's something that certainly needs to improve. Mary Washington, as such, changes up the lineup. Zach Blue, the reigning defensive player of the year, still stays in there, but he's joined by 2 of his former high school teammates, true freshmen in Caden Bates and Jay Randall. Both have seen increased time, and they'll hop in place of Drew Rousen and Daniel Peterson. Cameron McCravey still the point guard, and, of course, Trey Pittman will be in the middle going up against Sidney Thibault. Hopkins, the starting 5, same as always. Braden Fagbemi, the fabulous freshman, continues to work at the point. He's flanked by John Windley and Carson James. Brian Johansson, the junior, is on the 4, and Thibault, back-to-back Centennial Conference Defensive Player of the Year, standing strong at 6'8", 245 in the middle. Boy, can he make an impact. This is a Hopkins team that wins the rebounding battle nearly every time out. Those offensive chances, second-chance points are going to be huge.
And they out-rebound. You mentioned rebound. They have out-rebounded their opponents by over 100. This is a rebounding team. They're a tall team, and they get after the ball. I think Mary Washington's going to have to score in transition if they want to keep up tonight.
Mary Washington does not shoot the 3 especially well. Hopkins, fantastic. Pittman jumping against Johansson. Eagles in the white, Blue Jays in the black. And we're ready to go with Thibault winning it. First time in the last 5 games that Mary Washington has not won the offensive tip. Underway in the Berg. It's Thibault up top. Everything runs through him. Leads in rebounds, steals, and blocks. They'll kick it up to Windley. Part of the reason Bates and Randall in the lineup, you have to defend the 3, have to extend all the way out and play quick against Hopkins.
Yeah, there's a great screen right there on Bates. Left a wide open Windley. He missed it, but they got the offensive rebound.
Once again, Thibault right there, able to get to the spot under the screen for a second time, a second consecutive miss. Going the other direction off the foot of Johansson. So 1 miss each from deep from Windley and James. 2 chances, 1 possession, 2 threes. That's going to be par for the course.
And you see how they're playing. They're setting the screens, giving wide open threes. Eventually they're going to fall.
Caden Bates went under the screen on both opportunities. We'll see if that continues to be the case. As of now, the Blue Jays have to prove that they can make it. Pittman on the board, kicks it back out to Zach Blue. Blue was doubled. Bates
man-to-man defense here. Down to 8 on the shot clock.
McCravey swarmed, stepped through, intercepted. Right quick by John Windley.
Yeah, he got underneath the basket, had nowhere to go with the pass or the ball.
Hopkins has allowed more than 60 just once in this 10-game win streak. The one caveat to the win streak, they lost 3 of their first 4. They lost 4 of their first 6 against a handful, 3 top 25 teams, and then Gettysburg, who just received votes for the first time. Caden Bates is good through contact. Hopkins has not beaten the top 50 team yet this year. Johns Hopkins has taken advantage of the top-heavy Centennial Conference. It's Hopkins and Swarthmore, who's having a down year after making the Final Four last year, and then a series of teams that tend to be mediocre. Blue with the interception to Bates, and the Eagles slow it down.
Good defense there. They had a wide-open man underneath the basket, just couldn't get him the ball. Thibault was breaking through the basket.
Trey Pittman, nobody in the same zip code, 18% shooter from deep, but he's clean on that one. 5-0, 2 minutes in.
Good start by Mary Washington, playing great defense, scoring off the turnovers.
Blue Jays are 0 for 3 on 3 3-pointers.
They're going to watch it. Tybal is wide open, breaking toward the basket every time. Eventually the team's going to see him.
In and out, Fagbemi long. Blue and Pittman both going for the ball. Teammates able to escape Thibault and bring it the other direction.
You mentioned John Hopkins has been hot from the three. They've started off cold tonight. Blue stuck in the corner. One place you don't want to be with the trees around you.
Randall stepped through to Bates. And a blocking foul called underneath. First whistle of the day, 2.5 minutes in. Looks like it'll go against Brian Johansson, the junior from New Jersey. Did not quite get set in time. The defense has been fantastic, 60 plus or less in 9 of the last 10. Blue, quick mid-range. No, McCravey put back wildly and wide left.
Nice offensive rebound there. Got a little wild there on the putback. Nice to see him get an offensive board, though. It's hard to get those against John Hopkins.
Fagbemi, the step through, and he was blocked by Jay Randall. Ball stays with the Blue Jays, but Randall on the help defense gets the rejection.
It was nice to see him slide over and help there. That was great defense. He was wide open underneath. There's a great inbound pass.
Winley able to go over top of McCravey, who was caught napping. John Winley, the junior from Tennessee, leads the team in scoring. No good for the Eagles. Back the other direction. Hopkins with a chance to tie.
Yeah, a little early on that shot. I don't think Coach wanted to take that shot. Nice block. Way to follow up that missed three with the block.
Winley lost it on his way up. Tried to just push it towards the cup. Pittman steps into the mid-range. Trey Pittman has 5.
They gave him that. They gave him the shot. They said, hey, take it if you want it. He was wide open, and he took it. Looks to be a whistle. I think it was on, I want to say it was Johansson. If so, that'll be his second on the rebound.
Foul was away from the basket. So the basket counts. The foul is on Johansson. That's the second on Johansson. Pittman sits along with Caden Bates. And the two previous starters in the last 5 games, Peterson and Rousen, check on for Mary Washington. 7-2, and the ball comes back.
Yeah, they did not plan on Johansson getting 2 quick fouls. We're not even to the four-minute break yet.
Forced to make a change. Jeb Williams, the freshman, checks in. Be Charlie Jackson as well, the lone Virginia native on this Baltimore-based roster.
So they're going a little small here. Peterson and Rousen bringing in the height. Got a little advantage here.
Johansson and James were the two who sat down for Johns Hopkins. Daniel Peterson scored well last time out, had 19.
Got to give Tybal credit. He's covered Peterson in the three-point range. He must have done his homework there. Wow.
Randall is brutally rejected.
Yeah.
Tried to draw the charge, tried to draw a block, something, and the freshman is swatted by Tybal.
Double team underneath. Somebody's got to be open.
Sidney Thibault, the 5th-year senior, gives way to Fagbemi, the freshman. Freshman had an inch and takes it wildly, no good. Hopkins is 1 of 7. They're 0 of 5 from outside. Eagles have to take advantage of this cold start. 7-2, McCravey brings it back out.
You mentioned 3 points. Yeah, 0 for 5 right now from three-point land. That's not just because they're missing them. It is tough defense playing against them. They haven't seen the tough defense like Mary Washington right now.
Eagles, the number 3 ranked defense in the nation. 5 on the clock. Rousen stutters out to Blue with 2 to go. He's good. Little contact on the follow-through. Does not matter for Zach Blue. Blue's first field goal in the last 2 games. He's on the board. 10-2 Eagles.
Nice drive by Peterson. Dish out to Blue. Wide open for the 3. That's how you play it.
Use the full 30 of the shot clock, too. Big to see. Extra pass worked well. Jackson kicks it outside. Wide open, Jeb Williams. That's not a man who misses. 52% for deep this season for the freshman from Connecticut.
Not a bad guy to come off the bench and hit that, is it?
3 and D off the bench. The 6th man, Williams, is always there for the opportunity. Randall was swarmed, and there's a whistle. It's a travel. Jay Randall was just bamboozled.
Yeah, he got no man's land over there in the corner, and I tell you, 3 guys around you, you can't see over him, you can't see under him, and he just walked.
With the turnover, 5 minutes in, it's 10-5 Mary Washington. Hopkins is 2 of 8 from the field. Eagles have committed 2 turnovers, so have the Blue Jays, and we step away for the first time. Eagles out front 10-5 against the number 24 team in the nation. Ryan Kane, first year at the helm for Johns Hopkins. Josh Leffler left after 5 years. Did a good job with this program. 4 of the last 5 seasons they made the tournament. Takes an assistant job at D1 Cincinnati, and Kane comes over after 8 years at the helm of Keene State, who made the Sweet 16 last year, just like the Blue Jays.
So we got Goldberg checking in for the first time off the bench.
Peter Goldberg, the sophomore out of Sarasota, comes on. Just 2 of the last 6 games he's appeared in, mostly in garbage time. But somebody who can shoot the ball well, and that's what this team might need. It's a game that's going to be like that.
Absolutely.
Blue, another takeaway. Jackson got sloppy.
Nice pass to Peterson. Wait, Randall underneath, just couldn't hold on to it. Wow, great job keeping it alive.
Pure hustle from Randall. Blue through traffic, long and no good.
Tough shot. I'm glad to see Mary Washington looking to score underneath the basket. Boy, Thybul's underneath there every time.
That was Will Sykes who just checked in for Thibault. No good. Tip back. Third chance is good. Not a soul put a body on Jeb Williams, and he broke in. Williams has 5.
Not a soul put on him for 3 times.
Will Sykes came in for Thibault, so you go from 6'8", 245 to 6'8", 240. Size in the middle regardless of who's up there. Catch and shoot. Blue got hit on the follow-through by Winley, and that's 3 free throws for the senior Zach Blue.
Yeah, he got hit on the arm on his follow-through. They're going to call that every time. It's right in front of the official.
There was fingertip contact on the made 3 that he made right before the media timeout, too. This one, a much clearer follow-through. Blue likes to have that extended step-through on the follow as well and takes advantage.
And I believe he said something to official in that last 3 where he was tipped on his fingers, and they're watching him a little better now.
Can't convert on the first one. Eagles shooting 68% from the line as a team. Blue around 64. Went 1 for 2 at the stripe last game. 0 for 2 to start. Trey Pittman comes on for Jay Randall.
They've been halfway down each time. Need to score on these free throws. They're gifts right now.
Blue 1 of 3. Hits the last one. Frustrated with himself, but he'll check off in favor of the freshman Caden Bates. Carson James back on, one of 4 fifth-year seniors on this roster. He replaces Fagbemi. The freshman sits for the first time. 11-7, Eagles by 4, ending the 5-0 run for Hopkins and the 2-minute dry spell for Mary Washington.
Watch Will Sykes set these picks at the top and then go. Tough assignment for Pittman.
Illegal screen, other direction. John Winley with the foul. That's his second.
Yeah, they've been setting some picks. They're very close to being moving screens, moving picks, and that's what they got called for there.
Fagbemi was trying to check in to replace Winley. See if the Eagles go at him and potentially get his 3rd. In for Pittman. Pittman backing down on Sykes. Turnaround, and again halfway down and out. Bit of bad luck for Pittman's first miss of the ball game. James driving with the left. Floats it down under, and brilliant to find John Winley, who just beat the smaller Goldberg at 6'1", 165. Yeah. Winley had the size and the positioning.
Yeah, tough task there for Goldberg to cover that. Wow, almost threw it away there. Nice catch by Bates to save it.
They continue to sag off of Pittman. Pittman got trapped in midair and tosses it right into the hands of Charlie Jackson. Transition defense from Drew Rousen takes it away off of Sykes.
Yeah, Pittman versus Sykes. I think you're going to take Sykes every time.
Sykes, the senior, only in-state prospect on the 16 on the roster for Johns Hopkins.
I know they said the Buffalo Bills were missing linebackers last night. Sykes could have probably suited up for him.
Between Sykes and Thibault, you're set in the middle.
Yes, you are.
Heavy contact from Peterson, and it's the first free throw attempts of the night for Johns Hopkins.
Smart play for Peterson. If you're going to foul underneath the basket, make sure they don't score the bucket.
Jeb Williams going to the line. He's continued to involve his interior presence. Was nothing but a three-point shooter when he started, but now 14 free throws taken in the last 4 games after just 2 in the first 12. Just shy of 80%, makes the first one. Randall McCravey in for Goldberg and Pittman, and Thibault back on quickly to replace Sykes.
Yeah, good minutes there by Sykes.
Second chance. Doesn't matter if you miss the back half.
There you go with your offensive rebounds again. It was just a tip out by Thibault, it looks like.
Thibault has the sheer size, but he knows exactly where to position the body too. Continues to get these tips, if not outright catches.
Wow, nice rebound by Peterson. It's Thibault right on his back there.
Thibault's not trying to catch those rebounds down. He's just swatting it out to his teammates and seeing if there's a one-on-one body with him, it's a 50-50 shot, but he's assuming there's going to be an uncovered guard, and that's where he tries to put the ball. Eagles by 1, 11-10, 12 minutes to go in the half. Daniel Peterson's first shot, no good. A trio of Blue Jays there to clean it up.
Tough shot for Peterson, about 10 foot out. Nobody underneath the basket for a rebound.
Fagbemi across. Williams on the give and go.
Mismatch right here.
And a foul called. Thibault will go to the line. Rousen tried to shuttle over and give the help defense. Might have had a potential block opportunity, but McCravey was just getting walked down by Thibault.
Yeah, that's a big mismatch. Thibault saw it and took it right to McCravey.
Sidney Thibault shooting 2 when we return. Hopkins looking for their first lead of the night early in Fredericksburg. Blue Jays winning the rebound battle, 9-6, including 3-1 on the offensive side. All three courtesy of Sidney Thibault on various tip-outs. Fifth-year senior will shoot a pair. Just 33% from the line this season. Thibault, 1 out of every 3 end up going down for the big fella, so that's not a bad place to put him.
No, not a bad place at all to put him. Again.
Thibault can't get the roll.
Well, we're looking for a third player for John Hopkins to put up a point here. Right now, it's the Williams-Windley show.
Everything from outside. Thibault will not be the one to get it. 0 for 2 for the big man out of New York. Mary Washington stays in front.
Another tree has been planted underneath, and O'Neal for John Hopkins.
First appearance for Tommy O'Neal, the grad transfer from Harvard. Pittman has to kick it out to Rousen, down to 10 seconds. They continue to sag off of Bates. In and out. Pittman turns around, no good. Trey Pittman continues to try to fire away, but he's missed his last 3.
Tough shot by Pittman. O'Neal says, you know what, I can take a 3 too, the big fellow.
Bates tips the kick out from Thibault. Referees initially pointed in favor of Mary Washington. Now they'll confirm that it was tipped. They want to congregate. Looked pretty clearly to the naked eye to be a tips by Caden Bates. It was Thibault.
Maybe Windley got a finger nail edge on it. We'll see. It's nice. It's nice the officials got together. They're going to give it to Mary Washington.
So Eagles retain possession. Dorian Davis, 9 minutes on. Checks on his first appearance. Coast-to-coast Rookie of the Year in 22-23. He'll replace Caden Bates. So Bates very clearly appeared to make contact, but if Windley might have gotten a fingernail on it, that could send it the other direction. Shot clock allegedly needs to be moved from 30 to 20. So we're set there, still 11-10. Defense continues to reign supreme. Fagbemi was blanketing McCravey. Cam able to get it away.
They're getting some outside looks. They're just not taking the shot. Want to take it inside. It's going to be hard for Mary Washington to get inside.
This defense clamps down low. Randall with 4. Shot has to come. Dorian Davis from a mile away. No.
Yeah. I'm not sure they do 20 instead of 30 on the shot clock, and that might have caught them by surprise. The crowd helped them, letting them know.
Hopkins, another chance to take the lead. Both teams have gone quiet. Two top 15 defenses.
Thibault breaks to the basket every time. Tough. tough shot there by John Hopkins. Great defense by Mary Washington. Thibault again, like you said, swatted the ball out, but it went to Mary Washington that time. Nice move by Rowson there.
The Hopkins defense continues to force these outside shots. Not many clean looks down low. Jeb's down there. Williams continues to be in conjunction. Davis to the cup and swatted by Thibault once again. Sidney Thibault averages 2 blocks a game, and he's racking them up. Thibault, that should be his second.
Yeah, Davis taking the ball underneath. That was all ball. It was literally all ball.
Zach Blue in for Drew Rowson. John Winley in for Jeb Williams. Fagbemi stays up at the point. Freshman from Naperville. Across to James and then Thibault. Winley steps into one. No good. And ran down on the offensive glass once more. That's offensive rebound number 5 for Johns Hopkins, courtesy of Tommy O'Neill.
And I know that drives Coach Kahn crazy. Offensive rebounds. Could get a 3-second right there.
Tipped out again. Thibault gets it to O'Neill. It's a third chance. This is why Hopkins is so dangerous. Skip to Fagbemi. No good. Davis collided with Blue, but Zach Blue secures it. Johns Hopkins 1 of 9 from outside. It's 11-10, 11 minutes in. Fagbemi with a reach. That's his first, and it's the 5th on the Blue Jays.
Yeah, a little tough there. He tried to pickpocket him, and it just took too much body there.
Blue able to turn the body the other direction and force the contact. O'Neill sits. He'll be replaced by Charlie Jackson. Brian Johansson replaces Fagbemi. Johansson and Winley both playing with 2 fouls.
You're keeping Peterson in. You got Randall in. You got a little height in there. And you got your shooters on the outside. I expect some picks, maybe some dish outs to threes. Tough turnaround jumper by Blue there.
Blue beat Winley to the spot. Good recovery by John Winley. Puts enough of a body on the senior Zach Blue. The spinning layup, no good. Left-hand drive, has to kick it back out. James was guarded by Randall.
Wow, they crowded wide, leaving a wide open Jackson.
Charlie Jackson, no. Another tip to Jackson. Thibault's on it. There's a charge drawn by Zach Blue.
Nice way to hold his feet there. He knew he was coming into him. But once again, Thibault, the tip out for the offensive rebound. That's 7 now, right? 7 or 8.
The rebound numbers for Thibault say 6 points. But he's got a handful more in those secondary rebounds that he continues to provide for his team. Sidney Thibault, NBA bloodlines. His cousin Matisse still playing for Portland, and he's providing just as big an impact even though he's scoreless. Nobody's put a bucket up in 3 minutes. It's 11-10, and it's nothing but defense here at UMW. Six fouls on Hopkins, 2 on Mary Wash. The next one drawn by the Eagles on the offensive side will result in 1-1 with 8:22 to play. Noah Adcock out with Adam Sutton with you on UMWathletics.com.
We've mentioned Thibault with the rebounds. He's had 120 rebounds in this season. Second in John Hopkins is 71 rebounds. That shows how big he is underneath the basket.
Zach Blue fades away on the mid-range, no good. Blues 1 for 5. He's 0 for 4 from inside the three-point line.
He was open. That was a good shot. He just couldn't get it to fall. Tough task here. Let's see how Peterson does.
The footwork from Thibault is good. Scoreless drought no longer. Hopkins in front for the first time tonight.
And another player has scored for John Hopkins, taking it to 3.
3 players with buckets per side.
Yeah, we called this. You said it was going to be a defensive game, and that's exactly what it is.
The switches, the blockouts, there's no easy look. You have to earn something. Nope. Zach Blue, a 3 in and out again. Peterson trying a tip of his own, a la Thibault, no good. Transition for the Blue Jays. Step through, Randall up and under. They got Jay Randall in the air, and Charlie Jackson shooting 2.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. Randall it was in no man's land, flying at him.
Randall went soaring skyward. If that ball was put up towards the net, Jackson knows what the result would have been. Instead, he wisely holds on, and Charlie Jackson, who shoots 73% at the stripe on the season.
I'm not sure I could have pulled a Jackson and had Randall flying at me like that and just stand there.
The lefty's good for the first one. Will Sykes replaces Sidney Thibault. Jay Randall down. Jaden Burgess, the freshman, on for his first appearance. Marcus Kahn continues to go deeper into the bench than traditionally. Saw Goldberg in a rare first half appearance. Now Burgess, the freshman from Harrisonburg, gets an appearance as well. Still have not seen Matthias Prock tonight.
Yeah, I think he's looking at defense. See who can really stop this John Hopkins team.
Somebody needs to create a shot. Dorian Davis on as well. Davis, step through, turn around, hand in his face. No good. Mary Washington's gone cold. 4 of 18. They've missed their last 7.
And they're only getting one-shot opportunities right now.
3-point, straight on, good. John Windley with the triple. Have to fix the net. Largest lead of the night, 7 unanswered for Hopkins. James is replaced by Jeb Williams.
You got to put a guy on Windley, especially on the three-point line. He leads the team to a 14-point average. He's not going to miss those all night.
Windley wide open. 7 points, a game high for John Windley. Peterson forced to pull up from the free throw line. He's good over top of Sykes. See if that opens up the floodgates for the Eagles a little bit.
Tough shot, well-contested shot that fell. They needed that bucket.
This is the time of the game, the final 10 minutes of half number 1, where Hopkins, over this win streak, has been dynamic. Loose ball ran down by the Blue Jays. Everybody scrambles for it, and Brian Johansson has it for Hopkins. 6 on the shot clock.
Got Davis on Sykes underneath. That's a mismatch.
Sykes muscles through Dorian Davis, gets the 2 points right back. In each of these last few wins, Hopkins, it's a little close around the midway point of the first. The defense locks in. You saw it there as William swats blue. Dorian Davis mid-range, good. Dorian Davis on the board. The defense holds up, and the offense just gets methodical. They get the sheer volume of chances, and they start to pull away. 4-point game, 19-15.
And you watch John Hopkins. There's Sykes for 3. Wow, he's feeling it right now, isn't he?
Sykes with a big 3 and a big celebration as well. Sykes all the way down the court. The senior from Columbia knocks it home. Back to answer, Blue to the basket, and 1. Turn the corner on Jeb Williams. Zach Blue to the line for the second time.
Foul on Williams there for John Hopkins.
Bates and Rousen on for Davis and McCravey. Zach Blue's 1 of 3 tonight at the line.
Looking to be the leading scorer for Mary Washington right here if he makes this one.
He will not. Rousen wrestles for it, gets it inside to Jaden Burgess. No. Burgess, 2 of 9 on the field this season.
They're going to call a foul there on Charlie Jackson.
Contact between Burgess and Jackson as they both went for the loose ball, and that puts Burgess at the line. That's 8 fouls, 1 and 1. And the freshman, who's 5 of 6 in his career, gets a chance, needs to make the front half. Mary Washington hasn't been great from the stripe, 1 of 4, all of which have been blue.
Nice to see Burgess getting points when he's on the floor.
Fagbemi in for Jackson. Jackson 1 foul and sits down. Ryan Kane continues to plead his case to the referees. Burgess 2 of 2. Jaden Burgess has been very consistent at the line. Not as much so from the field, but he earns those trips to the stripe, and he continues to make them count.
A little quick turnaround there in the score. It could have been a 5-point had Blue made his free throw.
Johansson to answer, and he will. After a 1-for-10 start, Hopkins has made their last 3 from beyond the arc. 25-19, 5 to play. Rowson floats it to Peterson. Had to take the dribble up and under Daniel Peterson for 2.
We're all of a sudden seeing offense from both teams working it. John Hopkins is setting picks on top, bringing their big man down. Peterson can't get down to guard him, and they're getting a mismatch right there. There it is again. Sykes underneath.
Blue swats it away. Burgess with a bit of a collaboration. And now Johansson swats away the hand of Jaden Burgess.
Wow, wouldn't even let him help him up. Are you kidding me?
You don't like to make generalizations, but I will say the one thing you see when it's Johns Hopkins, it doesn't matter the sport, you see that a lot.
You do.
They got that reputation on the lacrosse field, and we've seen them here for soccer, for volleyball.
Yeah.
It tends to be the case.
I mean, you got to give Burgess credit. He went over and gave his hand and tried to offer him up, and he was denied.
That's Johansson, the junior from White House Station, New Jersey. Wasn't happy with Burgess drawing the foul on the other side and then refused to take the hand on the front half.
Nice pick.
Good screen from Sykes. They'll float it down that way on Peterson.
Nice defense there, waiting for Bates to come in there. Looked like he got all ball. They're going to call him for the reach in, though.
There's a reach on Caden Bates. Fourth team foul.
Yeah, Peterson had on the backside. Bates came to try to get the ball away from him. He did, but he must have made contact.
Step through, contact. Could have been an and one. Carson James converts regardless. Hopkins continues to answer at every opportunity.
Yeah, if you look at both teams, you see John Hopkins seems to be scoring a little easier than Mary Washington. Mary Washington really working on the shots, but they're learning how to score underneath. They're getting the big man out from underneath the basket and taking it too. Blue on fire tonight.
Blues got 8 on 3 of 9 shooting. Sykes the stretch 5 up top. Step in, Davis pokes it away from Carson James. And the media timeout is drawn, 27-23. Likely the final time we step away in half number 1. Hopkins up by 4 after a strong 6-minute stretch. Hopkins ball, they'll lob it in. 17 seconds on the shot clock out of the media timeout. Last touch by Davis. Jeb Williams, the red-hot freshman, no good. And an over-the-back call on Sidney Thibault, who just came in at the timeout. Thibault provides you a little bit better defense. There's not much of a defensive drop-off with Will Sykes. Sykes, however, can stretch the floor, shoot from all 3 levels. So you have better rebounding, a little less offensive creation. And the foul gives Peterson 1 and 1.
They finally got underneath Thibault there. He had to reach over across the back of Peterson to try to get that rebound.
Good body by the senior Peterson. First free throws. 4 points, 3 rebounds for Daniel Peterson. And no good again. Mary Washington struggling from the line. That's 3 of 7.
Nice pick by Thibault.
Williams driving on Davis. Tried to create off the angle. Thibault launches it into the first row.
Well, he's got a wingspan on him, Thibault does. I can tell you that.
Tallest player on the court right now, but the wingspan and the jump to match, he's creating opportunities. He's the first one to the ball every single time.
First one every time. Just a tough task for Peterson.
Blue drives, triple covered, kicks it out. Dorian Davis always open.
Nice shot by Davis. Much needed by Davis.
Davis makes it a one-point ball game. You know Hopkins is looking to answer. 3 minutes left in the first.
And here we go, partner. Missed free throws. Think where Mary Washington would be right now on the scoreboard.
Thibault backing down. Thibault, great footwork. Another stop and start. He's gotten Peterson with that move a couple times. Thibault's got 4 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocks.
Yeah, I thought they were going to come down and give him a little help, give Peterson a little help. He doesn't want to pick up another foul.
Kicks it to Bates. Bates guarded well by Jeb Williams.
Good to see Bates getting a lot of playing time. Great cut to the basket by Blue.
Blue had to go up and under. It's swatted out by Dorian Davis. He tried to deflect it off of Thibault. Zach Blue was pleading his case, hoping for a foul on Carson James. There was contact mostly with the ball, and any contact with the body appeared to be straight up, so I don't think he had much of a case there.
No, and you don't plead your case when the ball's still in play. You got to go after the ball and plead the case at the dead spot.
Thibault with Peterson again. Turns, spins. This time he gets the help defense, leaves a man open underneath, and Peterson called for his second foul, puts John Winley at the line.
Looks like they're going to give it to Rousen. Yeah, they're going to give it to Rousen.
Okay, so that's the help defense coming over.
Yeah, but that helps Peterson.
Winley 71% on the season. First attempts of the day. The junior connects on the front half. Hopkins has done well at the line. They're 4 of 7 now.
Yeah, Winley, the leading scorer on the team, also the leading scorer for the night. Following suit right now.
Caden Bates, lane violation. Didn't get called for it. Bates was early.
He was way early.
Tommy O'Neill replaces John Winley after he makes them both. So Winley gives way. You have O'Neill and Thibault both in the middle. There's a lot of size down low. Hopkins has a 5-point lead with 2 to play.
Yeah, and you got Rousen and Peterson as your height. You got Davis, Blue, and Bates as your shooters right now.
Rousen, pump fakes over to Blue, brings it back up top. Eagles having trouble getting it down underneath. In and out, Drew Rousen thought about it. Got poked away by Jeb Williams. Williams with the steal.
Brought the ball down. You're not going to be able to score underneath the basket with those 2 big guys there.
One of a handful of young star freshmen. Williams and Fagbemi working in conjunction. There's Fagbemi down low. And hammered home by Sidney Thibault.
Great play by Fagbemi. He drove the lane, threw Peterson away from Thibault, left Thibault wide open underneath the basket, and he put it away very easily there, partner.
So the timeout was called by Ryan Kane, trying to give him the opportunity to set up defensively, but with 1:24 to play in the first half, Hopkins is starting to build that momentum to take into halftime, and that's what they've done so well over the last month.
Yeah, you called it at the beginning of the game. Rebounds, rebounds, rebounds. And that's what Hopkins has done. They're not scared to put up a 3 because typically they get the offensive rebound. They're getting second and third opportunities every time on the offensive line. Whereas Mary Washington usually getting single shots.
Hopkins is now 4 of 14 from deep. They were 1 of 10 to start, but Mary Washington still not able to lead by more than 5. The defense, led by Sidney Thibault, was able to keep it close, and Mary Washington's inability to take advantage of that cold start for the Blue Jays could be a big problem as we get down the stretch.
Could very well be. I think you're going to see the give and go to Thibault again before halftime. I think they've come on to something. Thibault scored the last couple of baskets, and he scored them with ease.
Eagles have to find strength at the free throw line as well. Bates, hit, and 1. Good spin move by Caden Bates, the true freshman out of Patriot High School. That's on Fagbemi, and that's Fagbemi's second.
So we got 4 players with 2 fouls for John Hopkins.
The team's 10th double bonus. Bates shooting just 1, Fagbemi out Windley right back in. Davis replaced by Rousen after a very quick possession.
I'm sure that's not what you want coming out of the timeout by Johns Hopkins.
Caden Bates has 5. Had been held scoreless in 6 of his last 8 games, but got the start and proving Marcus Kahn right in that decision. 4-point game, 60 seconds in the half.
They're set of double screens trying to get an open basket underneath it. Nice pick by Blue, almost picked the pocket.
Blue able to tip the pass, but nothing else. Jeb Williams, off-ball screen, open from the corner, no. Zach Blue goes upstairs and grabs the rebound. He was able to squirt past Windley.
Chance to cut into this deficit here.
Not a shot. Williams misses often. Blue, contact, stutters, and left it short.
Blue's got to play basketball. Can't worry about getting a foul call.
After he got hit on the follow-through and drew 3 foul shots, seems that he's been searching for the calls a bit more. 2 seconds between shot and game clock. Carson James holding to be the last one with possession. James guarded by Blue. Now Rousen. He didn't get a shot off. He didn't get a look. Drew Rousen able to iron up Carson James, and the 5th-year senior from Tucson can't get it out.
I'm not sure the play call there. I would have thought he would have handed the ball off. He kept the ball the entire time. Maybe they just wanted James to take that shot.
2.1. Have to get something up. Zach Blue got partially blocked on the way up by Carson James, so neither side takes advantage of their final possession. Defense reigns supreme in the first 10 minutes. Offenses got hot down the stretch. 33-29 Johns Hopkins. John Windley, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 fouls. He leads the team. He leads the game. Williams with 6. Sidney Thibault, 6 points, 8 rebounds. He's well on his way to another double-double. For Mary Washington, Zach Blue, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 of 11 shooting, so not the most efficient night, but putting up points regardless. Davis, Bates, Pittman, each with 5 right behind him. The big answer, the big prominent number, Hopkins winning the rebound battle 23-15, including 7-3 offensively.
And I think with Pittman in there, he got 5 points, but he was open every time because Peterson was taking the big guy away. The person guarding Pittman left him out there, and I think that might be the answer to the second half. Get Pittman back in there and score some buckets.
Pittman, only 8 minutes played, did not see much time in the back half. Pace got a little quicker, more 3-point shooters. It was 4 shooters and then just Thibault in the middle. And that created Pittman can defend well interior, not as much so when you have to start switching. That's why you brought Peterson in rather than Pittman.
I'm surprised we have not seen Proc enter the game yet. He might be the second half.
Still no Matthias Proc. He is dressed in available, eligible, but no sign thus far. We'll see if that changes. We'll see if Mary Washington can get that lead back, trying to find their first win over a ranked opponent. Hopkins wants to make it 11 straight W's and back-to-back years with a big win over the Eagles. We'll be back in 13 and a half. And we welcome you back into the Anderson Center, ladies and gentlemen, on UMWathletics.com. I'm Noah Adcock-Howard alongside Adam Sutton. Close game, defensive game. Pretty much par for the course, at least for the first 20 minutes. Mary Washington looking for their first ranked win. Johns Hopkins looking to extend their season-long win streak up to 11 and get their first win over a top 50 opponent. Jays at 12-4, Eagles at 9-6. And Mary Washington's kept it close, but as Hopkins continues to get hot from outside, you start to wonder how much longer Mary Washington can keep it close without finding something, a bit of firepower of their own.
Yeah, I tell you, the second half, they're really going to have to stop Johns Hopkins because, like you said, they started hitting their threes late in the first half. And the thing is, if they're not hitting their threes, they're getting the big guy underneath the basket wide open. So you not only have to guard from the arc, you got to guard underneath. It's a tough task for Mary Washington this second half.
Fagbemi, Johansson, Winley, Thibault, and James, the same five that started the first in the second for Johns Hopkins. Eagles have McCravey, Blue, Bates, Pittman, and Randall. Cameron McCravey all the way to the cup, can't connect. Trey Pittman offensive rebound, has it poked away by Fagbemi. Trey Pittman brought it down a bit dangerous with a handful of black and blue jerseys right there, but he's able to maintain possession and get a fresh 20 after Cam McCravey can't convert on the layup.
I think it surprised Johns Hopkins. He came from nowhere. They were like, where did he come from?
McCravey with good body control and a foul underneath. Blocking foul on Sidney Thibault. That's his second. He's the fifth different player on Johns Hopkins with 5 fouls.
Yeah, 5 players with 2 fouls. This could get interesting late in the game.
Mary Washington seems to excel at drawing fouls. A lot of players that know how to force the contact.
We called Pittman's name right before halftime, said Pittman needs to be more involved. Let's see what he can do.
They'll kick it out his way. 6 to go. Pittman with the left hand. No. Jay Randall with a putback.
Nice rebound. Nice putback by Randall. They left him wide open underneath the basket.
Randall's first basket of the ball game brings the deficit in half down to 2, 33-31. First possession of the second for Johns Hopkins. Braden Fagbemi skip pass to the corner for Carson James. Now inside, Sidney Thibault has it poked away by Zach Blue. 2-on-2.
Thibault brought the ball down to Blue's level, and Blue knocked it right out and didn't turn the ball right over.
Double dribble on Fagbemi. Fagbemi with the interception on Zach Blue, who tried to go the no-look pass to Randall, and a double dribble called. Fagbemi was trying to dribble to gain possession the first time, picked it up. They called that he gained possession.
Yeah,
and Mary Washington.
Zach Blue still had possession there, but he didn't.
Eagles take advantage. Pittman, mid-range to tie, no.
Glad to see Pittman, see what they're doing. Pittman's taking the shot, Thibault's out, and possibly give him an offensive rebound. They didn't get it that time.
Fagbemi nearly turned it over again. Combination defense of Randall and Bates, but there is a whistle against Mary Washington. It's a second on Caden Bates. He's the first Eagle player with multiple fouls tonight.
Yeah, he got the second no man's land, had Bates. Randall right over him.
Bounce pass, Thibault with a little bump shot, and Bates takes it away.
There's a Randall went right down on his.
Randall skips it to Caden Bates. Mary Washington has been hesitant from outside. Pittman through contact, lost his footing a little bit, just had to throw it up, and he left it short.
Yeah, it was a mismatch. Pittman picked up on it, he had Fagbemi on him. Just did not put up a good shot there.
2 of the top 15 defenses in the nation, toe-to-toe. First three-point shot of the half for Carson James, no good. Thibault's 9th rebound, in and out, kept the pivot foot, and drops it in clean. 8 points, 9 rebounds for Sidney Thibault.
Yeah, Thibault kept it alive, got the offensive rebound and kept the ball and took it right back.
Took the shot himself this time rather than knocking the rebound to somebody else. Randall, triple covered, turnaround, no good, back iron.
I tell you what, they're driving inside. They're getting shots. They're just not getting them to fall.
Interior looks, but well defended all the way around. Once again, the Eagles go under the 3. Can't make it pay. Offensive board for Winley, and he jump ball, excuse me.
I thought he traveled too. They called a jump.
Ball was wrapped up before any happy feet. Brian Johansson was trying to convert from outside.
Really good movie too. Happy feet.
Great film. Second one doesn't hold up as much, but the original holds strong. Peterson in for Pittman. Lob down low, over the back on Peterson. That will be his second and the team's second.
Wait to come off the bench and get a foul before a second goes off the clock there.
Right idea, but the wrong execution. Ball was high, but held loose by Thibault. Wanted the lob on the inbound. They opt to go over to Carson James. Nice move by James on Zach Blue. Turnaround. Left it short. Barely caught the bottom of the iron.
Windley was wide open on the wing. They just couldn't find him there. Bates was way out on the defense. Not guard Windley at all there.
Bates has the pass. Poked, intercepted, trying to get it back and could not keep it. Hopkins showing off the steals on the other side.
Thibault on Randall right here. It's a mismatch. Got to switch it up.
It's where they have it for now. Johansson to the cup. Got hit on the body by Peterson. Gets his own miss. Blue knocks the pass out of bounds. And the shot clock is at 7. Dorian Davis for Caden Bates. Thibault sits. Will Sykes, the senior, in for the first time this half.
Big man to big man.
Thibault got put through a workout there. Much needed water break after 3.5 minutes where it seemed like he was involved in every play, offensive and defensive.
Yeah, Sykes has position on Peterson right there. Didn't need it though.
James got a step on Zach Blue. The two have been battling, but Carson James wouldn't be denied for too long. James now 2 for 5.
Seen much more offense, much more drive out of this Mary Washington team. Randall driving the ball more. You had Pittman driving the ball more. It just is so tall underneath. It just cannot get an open shot.
Blue
Nice
through the
pass.
baseline, dumps it into Randall. No. Got his own miss again. 3 bodies there. Zach Blue outside 3. Zach Blue. He's got 11. First player on either team in double figures.
Wide open on the wing there. Watch your reach in there, but Blue, there he is on the wing again.
Windley tried to answer, no good. Foul underneath will give the ball back to Hopkins. That's Jay Randall committing the foul on Johansson.
Windley wide open on the wing there.
Not a shot he misses very often. Fast pace and a bit more offensive. Despite the lack of scoring, a lot of good chances to start off the second for both teams.
Yeah, both teams. I mean, it got a little sloppy. Johns Hopkins started off a little sloppy, but they got it back to normal. We thought they started off with shooting threes and hitting them, but they have not. Defense, I tell you what, it has been really scrappy. Zach Blue all over. Caden Bates all over, trying to get these passes and make them work for stuff.
And for Ryan Kane, as much as he would like to be up by substantially more, if you can win this game, which they're leading and they've led for the last about 15 minutes of gameplay, when you're making 22% of your shots, you're 4 of 18 right now from outside,
And you're leading.
and you're still up front. This is a team that it's felt like they've been able to run away on the back of 3-and-D shooting.
Yes.
The fact that they're having to play down low, earn every bucket, and are still leading, first off, it inspires more confidence in the defense. But it also just shows that you can go out and battle with the best of them.
Absolutely. And if you look at the other side, I think Mary Washington won the first 4 minutes of the second half. They didn't let them get away, didn't let them run the ball. So, it could be a win-win. I think you would see confidence build on both sides right now. I really think you got to get Pittman back in there. I think Pittman could be your scorer here in the second half.
Hopkins saw 3 ranked teams in their first 5 games and lost all 3 of those. Since then, they've been favored in every contest. They were favored tonight by 2, and they're favored all the way the rest of it down. Big revenge game coming up here in about a week and a half against Gettysburg. That's the only conference loss they have this season. But a big win here. Have to see Gettysburg and Swarthmore 1 more each. But this is probably the biggest test left for the Blue Jays.
And they got 3 fouls on Mary Washington already here in the second half. There's a nice turnover. Randall thinking where the ball was going and went with it.
Windley just lost his footing, guarded by Davis.
Mary Washington trying to score a little faster, trying to score some transition points. They just cannot get them to fall.
Peterson, the floater, no good.
Sykes on Randall again. That's a mismatch.
Sykes wants it. Turns on Randall and puts him down. Jay Randall struggling in the battle against the bigger offensive player.
Yeah, that is a tough matchup with Randall. Sykes was calling for it all day long. Davis.
Dorian Davis starting to heat up, made his last 2 threes. He's got 8. That's a guy, when he gets going, can win you a ball game.
That was a good look. Right from our vantage point, that looked all net. Beautiful shot.
He was not close to the line either. James on blue, got the screen, able to force it out wide to Windley.
Battling underneath Peterson, really battling Sykes. I'm surprised they didn't get him for a foul there. Reach in. Wow,
Jeb Williams, who came off the bench at the media timeout, tried to poke that away. The true freshman, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals in 15 minutes in the first. Nearly had his third.
I mean, you can see it. I mean, they bring the ball down, they go to pass. Everything is work right now for both teams.
Nothing coming easy on either side. 40 minutes of effort. Davis, catch and shoot. Rush that one at Tad, and an offensive foul on Randall, pushing the back against Williams. Randall did not have the angle. Williams looked initially like he overshot, but he was obviously forced into that by Randall.
Yeah.
Hopkins ball, and that's Jay Randall's third.
That was a good idea by Davis. He knew he couldn't drive any further with Sykes underneath the basket, so he pulled up jumper, just missed a pulled up jumper. 3 on Randall, and they might set him.
39-37, 14-20 to go. Contact, blocking foul, and the ball goes.
Make that 4 on Randall.
That'll be Randall's fourth, likely the last we'll see of him for a while. Sykes muscles his way past. Ball goes down off the body of Carson James, and James will shoot the and one.
Just when you think you have control of the game, Johns Hopkins just turns up the volume a little bit.
Quick three-point play with some effort. And Randall now with 4 fouls. Randall in possession. Rousen looking to come in for the freshman. McCravey thought about the drive. Randall through the tree line, and he got knocked hard to the hardwood. Jay Randall to the line. That's the first on Will Sykes. 5th team foul. 5 of the 6 fouls have been called against Johns Hopkins, according to the scoreboard. Now it's updated properly.
Free throws are so important.
Randall knocks down his first. That was his first chance of the day. Even 50% shooter Fagbemi in for James.
Randall has got a quiet 3 points, but his defense has been there. He has really been moving around, setting screens. He's had a good game. I hate to see him miss that second free throw. You can't get him out of the game.
Forces Randall to stay in there. 38-42 now. Fagbemi back at the point. Looking to see if it was tipped, and it was. Blue got a finger on it. Now Randall's able to sit. Drew Rousen comes on.
Yeah, it's not just one screen that's being set. They're setting 2 or 3 screens, getting guys wide open here underneath.
A lot of movement away from the ball. Series of different ways to get open looks.
They've missed 2 opportunities underneath the basket in this possession alone.
The runner is good. Charlie Jackson, who just came off the bench. Jackson's second bucket. Points coming from a variety of different locations. 6-point lead once more for the Blue Jays. Rousen wide open. Might as well take it. No good. Rousen now 0 for 3 on the season. Hasn't had much confidence in the shot this year.
I mean, you're wide open like that, you got to take that shot.
Fagbemi takes a tumble. Got hit hard by Rousen. Braden Fagbemi will shoot a pair. He's the best free throw shooter on the team at 83%.
I'm not sure why Rousen's arguing that foul. I think it was all Rousen.
I think the only argument that the senior might have had is trying to say that because it came before the jump stop, it should have been on the floor.
Could have been.
Fagbemi no good on the first one. Braden Fagbemi 0 of 6 from the field, now 0 of 1 from the line. Joe Hansen checks in for John Windley, starter for starter at the 2 guard. Fagbemi looking to get on the board and convert the back half, make it a 7-point game, and he will.
Naperville, Illinois. There you go.
When you have a school like Hopkins, and you see it with a lot of these high academic D3s, MIT, U of Chicago, a lot of those UAA schools, you have a nationwide recruiting base to work from, and they make it count. You get the best talent from coast to coast. Blue for three, a little bit short. Rousen able to kick it back out to McCravey. Good hustle by Drew Rousen. In for Peterson, wrapped around. There's a foul down low.
Looks like it's gonna be on Johansson.
It will be on Johansson. Thibault back in for Sykes. That should be Johansson's third.
They got lucky there. I mean, that was a rough pass to Peterson. He was doing everything he can to try to get the ball. Had Johansson on his back.
For Hopkins, they are physical. Everybody on the roster. Blue spins it up and under.
Nice try by Blue.
If you're going to challenge Sidney Thibault, that's probably the best way to do it. Acrobatic reverse from Zach Blue. Skipped out to Williams. He's picked up by Rousen.
Thibault getting the ball back at the top of the key. I don't think he'll drive here. I think he'll dish it, and that's what he did.
Rare time on the ground. Back to Thibault. Tried to put Peterson on a poster. Peterson knocked the ball out of the hands, but a lot of contact in the lower half sends Thibault to the line. Peterson, that's his third downside. Upside, if you're Marcus Kahn, that's the man you want to put at the line.
Definitely. We saw him practicing free throws after the halftime, or during halftime, to be honest with you. It's like they saw him for the future here.
Thibault now 0 for 3. Carson James checks in for Charlie Jackson. Pittman and Bates come in for Peterson and McCravey. Hopkins now 7 of 12 from the free throw line. Mary Washington 5 of 10. Neither team has been stellar. Thibault hits his first of the night, and Sidney Thibault 9 and 9.
You got Davis and Blue. Those are going to be your guards.
Blue thought about it. Back to Rousen. Out to Caden Bates. Drew Rousen getting the Ben Simmons treatment. There's nobody in the same zip code until he steps inside the arc. Shot clock down to 6. Spins, steps, have to put something up. Good step back, put Thibault away, couldn't convert. Bates get the rebound.
Davis don't get that no man's land. They need to set it back up.
Lobs it up with the left and one. Drew Rousen changing hands in midair and able to convert. Thibault converts and commits his third.
I really thought they were going to get an offensive foul there on Rousen. Looked like he pushed off a little bit, but hey, we'll Mary Washington will take it. That's 3 on Thibault.
Ryan Kane in agreement with you. He's not the only one.
Yeah. You notice Coach Kahn, he just walked away and says, okay, we'll take that one. Rousen gets on the board.
Rousen initiates the contact. There's no doubt about that. They changed the ruling this year with some of the on-ball and help defense where you have to be set before there's any initiation. So some of that in-air contact created by offensive players is now being rewarded at the NCAA level more than it has in years past.
That's what they did there. He did not extend his arm. We'll give Rousen that, but he got a little space there on that shot. It was a beautiful drive, though. Absolutely beautiful. Glad to see Drew Rousen drive to the basket. He had 1 second left, he had less time on the clock. I'm just saying, he knew he couldn't hit the three. He wasn't confident with the three. You say they hadn't been confident all year, so take it inside. That's what he did.
Able to create, going one-on-one, the bigger defender with Thibault. Equally as impressive, the ability to switch from right to left hand, fading behind the backboard. Able to create the and one rather than 2 shots. Eagles at 50% from the line tonight, 5 of 10.
I'm surprised Thibault's back out. I'm surprised he did not take a seat on the bench there and to put Sykes back in. They're going to keep him in with 3 fouls.
Sykes has been strong. There hasn't been much drop-off other than maybe in terms of rebound numbers.
Wait, are you talking with the blue shirt on the bench?
Drew Rousen had a strong day at the line last game against CNU. Doesn't convert that one.
Free throws.
Mary Washington cannot convert it back to a 1-possession ball game. Cost themselves opportunities. Neither team has been perfect. And Mary Washington, as the team that's trailing and the underdog at home, those are the shots you have to make. Catch and release from Johansson, no good. Bates able to hustle and grab it.
Yeah, Thibault thought he had an easy rebound. Bates beat him to it. Made him work a little bit.
The young players on both these teams have shown that energy regardless of the role they play. Zach Blue got a good look, created it himself all the way around with the spin, just a little too strong on the way up.
Boy, he had an open shot there. Went to, after he did the spin around, wide open underneath it. Just couldn't get it to fall.
Jeb Williams, no, from the corner.
Yeah, nobody underneath the basket there. Thibault looks a little tired, in my opinion. Not hanging out around underneath the basket, smacking that ball out like he did the first half.
Hopkins 0 of 6 from deep in the second half. Nearly 10 minutes in. Davis has to skip it over to Pittman. Trey Pittman, left hand rejected by Thibault. Hung in the air, and that long reach swats it right back where it came from.
Yeah, I was sort of hoping Thibault would pull up from about 10 feet back and take the shot, not take it underneath the basket.
Fifth-year senior, been around a bit too much to make that mistake. Blue tries to tie it up on the help, has to kick it out to Williams. There's the first made three. You knew it was coming, and Jeb Williams has 9.
Yeah, you notice if it's not Windley hanging over there on the wing, it's Williams hanging off over the wing, and they're wide open, just waiting for the pass.
Williams is 2 of 5 from deep. Usually makes more than half of his three-pointers. Pittman on the floor, trying to create space. Pull up, difficult shot, but it makes it nonetheless. Pittman with his first point since the first 8 minutes of the game.
Went right over Thibault right there. I mean, maybe a centimeter.
That was a must-score possession. Towards the basket, wildly from Fagbemi. Fagbemi has it ripped away by Dorian Davis.
Nice play by Davis. Keeps her timeouts, gets the ball away, doesn't get a foul there on Williams.
Jeb Williams got beat to this spot. There's a bit of contact.
13 on 13 right there.
That's the second on Williams. Will Sykes comes in for Sidney Thibault. Williams takes a seat as well. He's replaced by John Windley.
You got Burgess out.
Burgess in for Rousen, who takes a long walk back behind the bench. And now a change, one more for Ryan Kane. Fagbemi checks out, and he's replaced by Charlie Jackson. Blue to the left, back up top for Pittman. Trying to give Pittman a chance to operate.
Absolutely.
Everybody bunched up on that side. Burgess halfway between a shot and a pass, just chucked it at the underside of the net where Bates was waiting.
Yeah, when Pittman has Thibault out there at the top of the key, they got to get somebody underneath for the easy bucket. No one broke underneath the basket, and you had Pittman out with Thibault out there, no one to go to the basket.
Jackson got a lot of space with the pump fake. Davis forces up a triple covered shot from the timeline, no good.
Yeah, and here comes Johns Hopkins.
Wide open layup, nobody there. Not converted. Last touch by Hopkins. A rare miss from Windley, uncovered. Davis rushing a little bit. Peterson comes in for Pittman.
That was a rush by Davis. I don't think Coach Kahn wanted that shot.
Davis takes a seat as well. Now he comes back on, so he was walking towards the bench. Didn't see somebody come in for him.
I think he thought he was in trouble.
Floats it up with the left, got hit on the way. Can't convert, but 2 shots for Dorian Davis will come courtesy of Will Sykes. That's Sykes with his second. Nobody more than 3 for Hopkins. Thibault and Johansson each with 3. Peterson has 3 for Mary Washington. Jay Randall has 4.
It's going to be a fun 8 minutes of basketball left.
Dorian Davis hits his first one, 79% on the season. Been back and forth with Matthias Prock and Cam McCravey for the best free throw shooter numerically this season. Still haven't seen Prock.
I say it every game. My favorite free throw shooter.
Rolls it in. All about that rhythm. Now Davis takes a seat. Dorian's got 10 points. Second player in double figures for Mary Washington. Drew Randall checks on. 51-46. 8 minutes exactly left in the game.
Yeah, it's a tough lineup right now for Mary Washington as far as scoring. You got Blue and Peterson.
This is where you find somebody to step up. Sykes with a good cut, nobody there.
Nobody.
Couldn't find him. Forced up, second chance, collect the own miss. Peterson with a block, still alive. And it's last touch by Charlie Jackson. Jackson was showing that hustle, got his own miss, nearly got another one. But he was out of bounds when he touched it. And that brings us to the media timeout. Hopkins has led the duration of the half. They've led for about the last 21 minutes of gameplay. 51-46. Eagles need to mount a comeback and slow down Thibault when we come back. Hopkins' identity has been threes, rebounds, and defense. 2 out of the 3 have been there. Rebounds, out-rebounding 39-26. Defense holding to 46 points for Mary Washington. Threes, 5 of 21. Not perfect, but certainly enough to hold the lead.
Mary Washington put a little bit more offense in the lineup now. Burgess.
Catch and shoot, in and out. Saw Thibault check back in to replace Sykes at the media timeout.
Randall did a great box out there. Just couldn't get the rebound. Beautiful.
Pass to Thibault and through contact on Burgess. Thibault converts. That's the second double-double of the season for the big fellow, 11 and 11. And he's 4 of 4, now 5 of 5 from the field.
It was a beautiful play there. We've seen it all night. He's been open. They just haven't found the ball.
Johansson saw the cutting man, put the hand in the passing vicinity, and knocks it out of bounds. Eagles have 15 on the shot clock.
He played that well. He thought it was off Mary Washington.
Good sell job.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Burgess panicked. Freshman showing some youth right there and just lobbed it into triple coverage. Pump fake, got Peterson in the air and rolled home by Johansson. Largest lead of the night. Here come the Blue Jays pulling away.
Yeah, you got to stop the bleed right here.
Bates, wide open, short. Caden Bates is now 1 for 9 from deep on the season.
Maybe he was wide open. No one underneath the basket to grab a rebound, though.
That's what Hopkins has done all night. Those less experienced shooters, the guys without the results or numbers, opportunities, they're just sagging off, forcing them to take a wide open 3.
And these Hopkins guys, they're no dummies. I know Bates is a freshman. They'll give him that 3 all day.
Bates has shot the 3 substantially less since the calendar changed to 2024. Blue, step through, Peterson outside, good. Daniel Peterson, that's his first 3 attempted and made of the day. 7 and 5 for the big fella. Timeout taken, cuts the deficit back to 6, 55-49.
Yeah, so it's a good thing earlier in the half, Davis saved that ball underneath the basket, didn't have to call a timeout, gives it to Mary Washington. I think you're going to see Burgess take a seat.
Seems like a possibility. Hopkins, if they hold on here, that would be another big win. They would improve to 6-2 on the road. They'll get a 1-game homestand on Saturday, taking on McDaniel at 8 p.m., on Thursday, before heading back on the road for 2 more. January 31st, they play at Gettysburg. That's their only conference loss. Swarthmore is who they end the season with at home. The Garnet made the Final Four last year. We're projected to finish first in the Centennial. Swarthmore currently 7-3 in conference, 10-7 overall. They're 4th in the Centennial. They need a big run to repeat last year. Hopkins made the Sweet 16, and they should be the favorites to come out of the Centennial.
Speaking of the weekend, we got a doubleheader, partner.
There's a whole lot of basketball here in Fredericksburg this weekend. Mary Washington goes a one-game road trip up north to PA to take on Wilson on Wednesday. And then there's basketball galore, back-to-back games this weekend. We'll have a triple header here. It'll be women's, men's, and neutral, not in that order, but the Santa Cruz Banana Slugs will take on Salisbury first. That'll be a neutral site game here. Then the men play Eastern Mennonite at 3. The women play Gallaudet at 5. And then Santa Cruz plays Mary Washington Sunday at noon.
Are you going to be able to get out of bed for that one at noon? You're going to be all right? I mean,
we'll be all right. Between that at 12 and the Ravens game at 3, I'll have enough to keep me up and going. There'll be excitement. But as soon as Baltimore gets off the gridiron Sunday night, I'll be needing a nap.
Good point. You got a real good point there. Nice rebound or grab by Peterson there. You got to take advantage of these missed shots by Johns Hopkins because they can come back. Peterson's feeling the 3. Not a good shot there, in my opinion.
The rhythm threes, when they're that open in transition, are not the worst idea, but you have to give that extra dribble. That was
way out.
Just a little too far outside, potentially, for Peterson. Good movement from the Blue Jays. All the way to the basket, strong from Charlie Jackson. He's got 8, and he has stepped up in this second half.
That was a nice drive by Jackson. See, they're going to give it to Rowson. They'll give him wide open out there. They know he won't take that shot. Davis, way off the mark there.
Rowson won't take that shot. Davis will take any shot. Good closeout once again. Johansson, Windley, both in the vicinity. Blue Jays are milking that clock. 4:38 remaining. Lob to Thibault, and that one's good.
Wide open underneath. 10-point double-digit lead here.
Thibault's got a team-high 13. That's his season high. They've had no answer. Rowson has to take it. In and out.
Nobody underneath the basket to get a rebound.
Eagles are cold. The confidence is slipping. Hopkins has Mary Washington on the ropes. Windley thought about the dagger.
Yeah, he did. He was close to pulling that trigger right there.
10-point lead. 4 minutes to go. Jackson, Euro, down under, laid in by Windley.
Nice pass, nice drive, nice shot. Rowson should have taken that. He was wide open.
Just got scared out of the middle. That's what Thibault's had the effect on.
Now he's not even looking to take the 3. That's the problem. Bates said he'll take it.
Bates no good. The defense is clamped down.
They have gone ice cold.
Empty possession on top of empty possession.
Looking to slow it down and work about the bucket here. There's Thibault wide open underneath. Got Zach Blue on him.
I'll take the 3 instead. Johansson can't convert. Blue goes to the ground. Thibault kicks it out. Windley 3. John Windley's got 14.
Yep. Second chance. There you go. Mary Washington wants a timeout. He's got 3 players waiting to come in.
Hopkins is red hot. They're on the run. It continues to extend. Mary Washington has ceded this 10-0 run to the Blue Jays with 3 minutes to go.
And you see a lot of the air come out of that balloon there. It just not getting rebounds, not getting to the ball, missed shots.
An adequate midweek crowd for a Monday night. Not awful by standards here, especially for a non-conference game, but the folks that have stuck around for the second half have just been silenced.
They've been silenced, and I think they've been pretty impressed by Johns Hopkins with the passing and the break toward the basket underneath and the easy buckets they've made in the second half.
It's hard not to be. Hopkins started the year firmly in the top 10. Those 3 quick losses plus the loss to Gettysburg, who at the time was not on the realm of contention, that brought them out. Since then, they've been around, gaining votes, waiting. The more wins they had and the more dominant the fashion, the harder they became to ignore. Poll came out this afternoon, back in the top 25 at the number 24 position, and they continue to climb. The defense, the shooting, this is a team that's built for March.
They really are. They really are. Like you said, they were not stressed or anything. They had a 3-point lead. You look at the stats, you're saying, wow, Mary Washington has a really good chance, and then all of a sudden, boom, they kept their cool. John Hopkins kept their cool, started making shots. They stuck to their game.
Hopkins is favored every single game for the rest of the year. They are projected to win each of those final 8. All of those are conference games, too, all the way down.
Goldberg back in the ball game.
Goldberg, Pittman, Randall, McCravey, and Davis are the 5. We just saw Will Sykes enter the locker room for Johns Hopkins. Didn't look to be in a ton of pain. Didn't seem to be a legitimate issue, but just something to continue monitoring, if nothing else. Keep you updated on that if we get any information. A game like this, it's rapidly becoming one-sided. Never want to see anybody end up worse for wear.
No, absolutely. Especially, like you said, that grunge game with Gettysburg. They want everybody healthy. Tough shot by Davis.
Davis trying to make something happen. Davis has 10 points on 3 of 10 shooting. The Eagles have not scored in any of their last 6 trips down the court. 2:30 to play. Carson James lobs it to Thibault. Able to kick it out. Open 3. Converted by John Windley. Windley, 17. And a timeout is taken by Ryan Kane.
I don't understand that timeout unless he wants to get some freshmen in maybe, or was it a timeout, or was it a
Thibault got hit.
Second?
Thibault got hit because he is in pain. Looked to be a swipe at the ball by Randall, or potentially going for the rebound. Didn't see anything, didn't see him go down immediately, but he was hunkered over, and they immediately brought a rag to his eye line. 67-49, 13-0 run. This game is all but ice. Wouldn't be surprised to see the depth start showing out.
Yeah.
Ryan Kane in his first year at the helm, he had 8 solid seasons at Keene State. That's a team out of New Hampshire that perennially dominates in a very similar style to this Hopkins team. A lot of three-pointers, a lot of defense. You see that often from teams out of the New England area. Keene State lost him. They're still in the top 15. Hopkins lost their head coach to the Division I assistant rankings. Leffler goes out to Cincinnati to join the Big 12. And there's been no drop-off. This is about to be the 11th straight win. 13-4 would be the record in Kane's first year in Baltimore. It's a team that's built to contend. Veterans galore, 4 fifth-year seniors, and the freshmen look unfazed whenever they touch the court.
I'm not sure Cincinnati should have joined the Big 12. That's what I got out of that.
That's understandable. However you feel about realignment, there's certainly been a lot of it. Mary Washington was ahead of the curve when the Capital Athletic Conference became the Coast-to-Coast Conference, and all of a sudden the Eagles were sharing the conference with California-based UC Santa Cruz.
Johansson and Pittman going at it underneath the basket. They got Johansson for a 4th foul.
Pittman on the 1-and-1. No good. Gabe Wilson checked on at the timeout as well. The junior from here in Fredericksburg, former Mary Baldwin Fighting Squirrel.
I think there might be cellophane on that basket. I haven't seen a ball go in there in quite a while.
Fagbemi's hit hard on the way up. Pittman tried to go straight up, but there was a shoulder before the hands were outstretched. Here's a full hockey-style line change coming. The second unit about to enter for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, here they all come. 5 players coming in.
Fagbemi's 1 of 2 from the stripe. Make it 2 of 3. So we'll see the changes. Grant Bullmash, the senior who checked in for 2 seconds at the end of the half in the first, will come on. Liam Deering as well. Will Stevenson, the freshman from New York City. Isaiah Hansen. And it looks like O'Neal will come on when Fagbemi drops off. McCravey sat down for Mary Washington. He was replaced by Jaden Burgess. 68-49.
O'Neal wanted to come in for Fagbemi. He was like, oh, man, he missed the shot.
14-0 run. Usually they do this in the first half, but Hopkins would not be denied. Pittman, poked by Fagbemi. Reach in foul, 1-1.
Yeah, there goes Fagbemi's night right there. O'Neal will come in for him.
So Fagbemi with his 3rd foul, 2 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. O'Neal, the grad transfer from Harvard, comes on. And Pittman once again can't convert on the front half. Trey Pittman.
Woes continue. Burgess just swatting at the ball there. I really don't think you need that.
Burgess converts the foul. Will Stevenson will shoot. 3 of 4 at the line in his young career. 11th appearance.
6'9".
He converts that one. Stevenson fired up, getting limited appearances.
New York, New York.
From the city, went to the Hotchkiss School in Connecticut. Leaves that one long. Randall gets the rebound.
Oh, they almost got O'Neal there on the back.
90 seconds to play. Randall back in despite the 4 fouls.
I thought he'd take that three and pull up two. Long two.
Wilson,
Goldberg.
no. Eagles' second chance.
Nice
Down
pass.
low. Pittman drops it in. Great find by Peter Goldberg.
It's a little bit easier to get underneath the basket when you don't have Thibault underneath there.
Thibault and Sykes both out. Definitely changes things, although the size of Stevenson and O'Neal still have 2 6'8" players. There's the drive. Pittman gets the block on Deering. Under a minute to play.
I thought Goldberg would have done the pull-up three there.
He thought about it.
Hit those.
Tried to find it into Wilson. A bit of a stumble. There was enough contact from behind by Isaiah Hansen, the freshman from Rochester, Minnesota. Hansen with his 11th appearance. More than a handful of opportunities for them to empty the bench over this win streak.
Absolutely, and it's good to see the guys get some playing time in.
Wilson does convert the first half, something that was missing often for Mary Washington. That brings them back up to 50% on the night.
Takes a person from the bench at a free throw, take that cellophane off. He hits both.
Wilson goes back to back.
I don't know. Let's see if they take another shot here.
15 seconds between shot and game clock. Can't quite run it all the way out yet. Every freshman wants to get their chance. Hansen, good. 4 of 5 to start the career from outside for Isaiah Hansen. They recruit shooters and size, and they find it up and down the roster.
Tough pass. Ooh, we almost walked there.
Pittman takes it. Might as well. No good. Burgess
Nice
skies for the
Burgess
rebound.
and
And one for Jaden Burgess. That'll put Burgess back at the line for the second time today. Just his 3rd field goal of his career.
Liam Deering with the foul. There you go.
5 points for Jaden Burgess. That's his career high. They'll get across midcourt and run out the time. 72-56. Johns Hopkins holds strong once again. Under 60 points allowed for the 11th time in the last 11 games.
We were holding our breath. We thought that run was going to come early in the second half. It didn't, but the run did come in the second half, and it got ugly quick.
Hopkins got hot when they needed to, a few crucial threes. It was the interior presence making it look simple. Thibault with 13 points, 15 rebounds, both of those his season high. John Windley leads everybody with 17 along with 8 rebounds. Windley another strong game, 13th game in double figures. Williams 9 points off the bench. For Mary Washington led by Zach Blue with 13, Dorian Davis with 10, 7 and 7 for Peterson. As we mentioned, Burgess, the freshman, gets 8 minutes and 5 points, both of those his career high. Mary Washington falls to 9 and 7. They're 4 and 3 at home. It's a rare down year here at Ron Rosner Arena for a team that usually is so one-sided here in Fredericksburg. They'll look to bounce back in a game that is very winnable at Wilson, at least according to the preemptive look. Wilson, a team that's been kind of buried. It's a relatively young program. They haven't had a program for many years. Slowly building it up. That's something that Mary Washington can hopefully use as they go deeper into conference play, because they come back with 2 games back-to-back days this weekend. Saturday, 3 o'clock Eastern Mennonite. Sunday, noon, UC Santa Cruz. Hopkins, 13 and 4, 6 and 2 on the road, 11 straight W's, and they'll take on the McDaniel Green Terror, who are 2 and 8 in conference, 6 and 10 overall, back in Baltimore, an in-state matchup. That'll be Thursday night at 8 p.m.
I tell you what, inside game was there for Johns Hopkins. I mean, Mary Washington slowed them down as much as they could. It's just, I really think Mary Washington got tired of there in the second half.
That's what Hopkins can force you to do. It's a fantastic program, and it's certainly somebody that you expect to see move deep once again in the NCAA tournament come March. A long way from there, but edging ever closer. They'll be out at Wilson on Wednesday, and then 4 games across 7 different programs. This weekend will be busy, and we'll have the coverage starting at 1 o'clock with the Salisbury Seagulls and the UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs going toe-to-toe here on Saturday. For my partner Adam Sutton, I've been Noah Adcock-Howith, and we are done here. Mary Washington will look to bounce back against the Phoenix and come on strong against the Royals come next weekend.
You say Banana Slugs one more time.
We love the Banana Slugs. One of the best mascots in Division III. Plenty of opportunities to see them next weekend. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. We are done. 72-56.